Good morning, everyone. Well done. My name is Reverend Beth Monholland. My pronouns are she, hers, and I have the deep honor of serving as the lead minister here and to welcome you all today to this service. I want to invite us to take a deep breath, center ourselves, and let us gather together with these words from Carl Sieberg. Let there be joy in our coming together this morning. Let there be truth heard in the words we speak and the songs we sing. Let there be help and healing for our disharmony and despair. Let there be silence for the voice within us and beyond us. Let there be joy in our coming together. Come, let us worship. When we gather together, we join our siblings in faith in lighting a chalice, which has long been a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. And this morning, Reverend Sally will light our chalice as I say these words. We light our chalice this morning as a reminder of our connections to each other and to all life. Let this light burn in our hearts, even in the face of grief and fear. Let this light be a beacon of hope, a beacon of joy, and a beacon of liberating love. And now, if you will, rise in body or spirit. We are going to sing our opening song one last time this month, This Joy by the Resistance Revival Choir. Reverend Sally and I are going to lead you. Many of you maybe know it already. We are going to do this, and we're going to be great at it. All right. Also, no, we're just going to do it. It's going to be great. Should I start?
You start.
I'll start.
I'll be clapping.
Yep, Sally's doing the rhythm. Sally's the rhythm section today. I'm the melody. All right. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
Good morning. And again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Urbana-Champaign. My name is Reverend Sally Fritchie, and I am delighted, let me say, to serve as the associate minister of this congregation alongside our lead minister, Reverend Beth Monholland. We are a church of many different beliefs, identities, and backgrounds, united by a shared commitment to our mission of building community, seeking inspiration, promoting justice, and finding peace. Whether you're here in body or joining from afar online, I welcome you into this sacred space. and it is our hope that this service will bring you whatever it is you need most today. We bid a special welcome to any guests who have joined us today and invite you to complete a connection card if you'd like to learn more about the life of this congregation and stay connected in the coming days. You should all know today is a special service because this is my last Sunday here at UUCUC. After today, I will be driving north to serve as the full-time lead minister of the Neighborhood UU Congregation of Toronto. I first came here to UUCUC 5 years ago in 2020, and while it's sad to say goodbye to such a wonderful community, it is heartening to look back on all the incredible work that we've done here together. Our worship theme for the month of April has been joy, and what a perfect note to end a ministry on. A chance to say goodbye and to celebrate all of the joys of these past 5 years. It's only hard to say goodbye when we have something that has been truly wonderful. Reverend Beth gathered a handful of congregants who wanted to share their reflections on this occasion. So we'll hear from them, and then we'll end with a formal goodbye ritual to close this chapter of my ministry with you all. And of course, there will be cake afterward. We're a congregation of all ages, which means we embrace whatever noises or little disruptions that different age groups can bring into a Sunday morning together. While kids are always invited to stay here in the sanctuary for the entire service if they wish, we do have religious exploration classes today, and kids and their volunteer teachers will be invited to go downstairs after the time for all ages, which is noted in the printed order of service. And our nursery is always open for anyone under 5. No matter your age, if you need to move around or find it easier to listen when your hands are busy, you're welcome to grab coloring supplies from under the lanyard table just in the entryway. And you're also welcome to go across the entryway into Fellowship Hall where we are live streaming this service. And you can watch in a space that's a little more relaxed and open. And everyone, as I said, is invited into Fellowship Hall after the service where there will be cake and conversation. With that, I will invite our first 2 speakers, Sam Bashirs and Sue Stock, to make their way forward.
It's good that I get to go first because I'm not emotionally invested here at all. I was on the search committee when we hired Sally. According to her application bio, she got her divinity degree at Harvard. She was originally from the Midwest, and one of her work experiences involved something called a high-pressure donut slinging. Naturally, I was impressed. When we interviewed her over Zoom, I liked her right away. It helped that she got my sense of humor, but the others liked her too. We closed the meeting at her suggestion by each taking whatever was closest to our right hand and holding it up to share. In my case, that was our dog Bingley, who was sleeping at my feet. And Sally said, "Bingley from Pride and Prejudice?" And I knew she was the one. Of course, it wasn't that easy. We'd already interviewed another candidate who checked a couple of boxes that Sally didn't, and the committee was leaning in that direction. So I prepared for disappointment. When we met again a couple of weeks later, 2 things had happened. First, several churches had decided not to hire Sally. I have no idea who those people were or what they were thinking, but I am forever grateful to them. Second, our lead candidate had checked a couple of additional boxes, the kind with red flags attached, and was out of the picture. Before anyone could suggest other options, we all said, "Let's get Sally." All in favor, say aye. Aye, done. When she arrived, we had a big banner that said, "Welcome home." As an experienced worship leader, I at first thought a good way to support Sally was to give her feedback on her sermons. After about the 3rd one, I gave up. My critiques basically amounted to, "Damn, she's good." Her sermons typically blend a topic, insights, some theology, and a bit of UU history for perspective. And I don't think it's effortless, but she makes it seem that way. And I have $5 here. that says there will be some UU history in today's homily, otherwise it goes in the collection plate. Don't hurt me. I'll let others talk about what it was like to work with Sally, but I did learn that if she says very gently, you know, you might want to just consider, you should listen because it's probably good advice. Sally has a knack for being present in a crisis. In her internship year at a church in Massachusetts, she had barely arrived when the minister went on maternity leave and Sally was left to hold things together. We assured her that wouldn't happen here. She arrived and we went into COVID lockdown. So she got to know us mostly on Zoom, and on Sundays she preached to audiences she could not see. As we were getting past the pandemic, our lead minister, Florence, went on leave and then had to resign for health reasons. We had a year and a half of transition, and Sally held things together. It's been 5 years and Sally's ready to move on. We've been fortunate to have her. I am proud that UUCUC has been a place where Sally could feel welcome and supported and grow as a minister. Now she's found another community of people who need her to hold things together and who are clearly wiser and more discerning than the ones who turned her down 5 years ago. Sally, thank you and best of luck in your next chapter.
Good morning. I first met Reverend Sally via Zoom. We moved to Champaign in June of 2020, so everything was Zoom. And I'll admit I did not watch UUCUC services very much at first. We felt kind of isolated and homesick, and so we were watching the services from our old congregation. If you remember those times, it was like, oh, look, there's Sharon and Vanessa. There's, needed to feel connected. Anthony and I also did our Pathways to Membership class via Zoom. Now, Sally will tell you it was awful. It was not. Reverend Sally and Florence were making the best of it, as we all were, adapting to doing things that we'd always done in person, suddenly having to do it sitting in front of our computer. I honestly don't remember much of the content from that Pathways class, but I do remember the warmth and the sincerity of my new ministers. I was a Pathways facilitator at my previous congregation, and when Reverend Sally mentioned in a membership committee meeting that she was thinking about revising our Pathways class, I jumped on it, and I asked if I could work with her. And of course, she graciously and enthusiastically welcomed me to Pathways. I mentioned that I wasn't sure if I could continue with the membership committee if I took on revising and facilitating Pathways, and Sally said something like, perhaps this will be your ministry for the time being, which gave me permission to focus on Pathways and also elevated that work to something important. And so a beautiful partnership was born. We rewrote Pathways for this congregation together using materials from the existing class, things that she and I had both done in other congregations, and stuff we made up. Every time it was offered, we would meet ahead of time, reviewing the evaluations, discussing what worked and what didn't, and then tinkered with the agenda accordingly. We took our work seriously, but we also laughed a lot. We've co-facilitated this class for potential new members roughly 3 times a year for almost 4 years, and I see some of the fruits of that work smiling at me in the congregation. Anyone who did a Pathways with Sally, could you just wave at us? Look at that. Thank you. Although I'm describing one relatively small project in the scope of all we do at UUCUC, I believe that it captures so much of what Sally has given to us and will leave with us. She enthusiastically welcomed somebody she didn't know very well to help her rewrite a regular congregational offering. Sally was and is humble yet knowledgeable, focused yet flexible, serious yet capable of great snarkiness, which I highly value. And our Pathways classes were spiritual and interpersonal and fun. I'm confident that Reverend Beth, Margaret, and I, and others in the future will continue to tinker with Pathways and will continue to offer a good, deep experience that invites people into membership and fellowship with this congregation. And Sally will be missed, even as her contributions to Pathways and so much more will live on. Thank you, Sally.
I wisely tucked a tissue in my pocket, but Sally and I were feeling like we needed some tissue in our corner. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Sue. And now I would like to actually, as our time for all ages, we're doing a reflection for all ages, although all these reflections are for all of us. But two of our kids in the congregation answered my invitation to share a few words about their memories of Reverend Sally. So I want to invite up first Osmi, Chronic Federer, and then after Osmi, Theo will come up, and then we have a special thing for some other kids to do. Osmi, come on. We're going to leave Sam's $5 here for the whole service.
Reverend Sally always made everyone laugh. Or so everyone made her laugh. She was always smiling, and she made everyone feel happy. That was my favorite thing about her. I don't remember any time that she ever frowned. She always made me feel comfortable when she was speaking. She was really kind, and I remember when she would let me come into her office and take candy from her desk.
My first memory with Sally was when church reopened. As luck has it, Sally was one of the first people that I saw when I walked into the church after COVID-19. I have a lot of memories with Sally, but unfortunately I can only share a few due to my limit of time. But one of my best memories was when Sally auctioned what color of hair she would dye her hair, and I chose blue. Didn't end up with blue, ended up with purple or pink. I'm not sure which one it is now because it's kind of like a bright purple. Another memory with Sally was that she let me, Osmi, Anna, and Sophie, Evie, and some other kids from RAE hang out in her office and steal the candy on her desk, draw random things on the whiteboard, and just hang out in there. During fellowship hour, which I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be talking to other people, but we just spent the most of the time just eating. Something decently funny is that ever since we've gotten the AC at the beginning, the chalice would never cooperate with her. But now to think that today it worked perfectly makes me like kind of like confused. Because I was not expecting that to cooperate today. In the end, I've realized that whenever I'm with Sally, I'm always really happy, and it's gonna be hard to see her leave. But Sally, we're always going to remember you. Thank you for serving.
Coming up, you all. So some of you, maybe most of you, over the month of April have seen this fabulous little suitcase in fellowship hour. Oof, I did not unzip it all the way. Es un problema. Bon voyage, Reverend Sally. And over the past month, folks have written cards, both brought cards. Somebody brought a gift today. And so you can continue to contribute to this if you brought a card today and are like, where do I put it? Oh, somebody go grab Lynn's. She's waving it. But the kids drew a lot of stuff. And our young people also contributed to so much of what is in here. Yep. Thank you, Amelia. Nope, I zipped it too much now. Didn't zip it enough, don't zip it enough. Amelia, you're helping me? Thank you. Oh, it's defeating us, everybody. Zippers are advanced technology. Will you all hold this together and gift it to Reverend Sally?
Thank you.
Wait, Theo. It's 5. So that box contains just a sampling of some of the love and gratitude and memories everybody, including these young people, have for Reverend Sally. And I thank you all young people, I'm looking at you all over, for being such a vital part of our congregation and Reverend Sally's ministry. So don't read all that now, or you really will cry. But keep adding wherever you go to the box of love. Right, everybody? Yeah. All right, yes. Thank you. And now, young humans, you want some slime. It's another gift. Slime is the gift that keeps on giving. All right. Young humans, you are welcome to go to your classrooms. Yep. Da, 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 da. So this is the time for our REE volunteers and kids if you want to go on to your time for faith development. And as our young people and their faithful volunteers make their way out, we are going to sing one of Reverend Sally's favorite hymns, a UU classic. We sing it, we don't sing it enough here. But we're going to sing it today. It's hymn number 123 in your blue hymnal, Spirit of Life. So when you are ready, folks, just rise in body or spirit and let's sing this together. And now we'll invite 2 more folks to share their reflections. First, we'll have Umita Sadarangani and then Dust Hayes. And I see Dust coming forward, so Umita, I'll welcome you up.
Good morning. It's hard to follow those kids and see if I can make it without crying. When Reverend Sally Fritchie came to UUCUC as Associate Minister in 2020, I was in my 20th year in this congregation. I remember first seeing her across the parking lot at an outdoor gathering during the pandemic. I had no idea then how significant she would be in my spiritual journey. 3 years later, in the summer of 2023, I made an appointment to see Reverend Sally. I needed pastoral care. A dear friend of mine was very ill. How could I be a good friend to her? And a year into retirement, I wanted help with that transition. I'm old enough to be Reverend Sally's mother, but her wisdom and calm presence comforted me. Keep showing up, she said about supporting my friend, in whatever ways make sense for that friendship. Messages, calls, visits, meals. People often withdraw when others are ill or in pain, but those who are suffering need us to keep showing up. It's wisdom worth passing on, so I'm passing it on. Towards the end of our appointment, for some reason, I mentioned my pull towards Judaism. Tell me more about that, Reverend Sally said. So I did. After she had listened for a while, she said, "This sounds really important to you. There's only so much you can study on your own. You need to explore this in community. I know Rabbi Alan Cook at Sinai Temple from Interfaith Work. I could email him and ask if he'll meet with you. Would you like that?" I hesitated. I didn't want to intrude. I had no familial connection to Judaism. I had no claim, except my decades-long strong pull to Jewish culture. I told Reverend Sally all this. She suggested that Rabbi Allen would let me know what was possible, what was appropriate. She made clear that my strong interest was worth pursuing. My wife Marilyn and I have lived a couple of minutes from Sinai Temple for more than 2 decades. Countless times, driving by on a Friday evening or around Jewish holidays, I would glance at the cars in the parking lot, kind of longingly. Thanks to Reverend Sally's emails, a few days after I met with her in June of 2023, I was in Rabbi Allen's office telling him I wasn't sure about God. He reassured me that was just fine. I was in good company. He has rabbi colleagues who aren't sure about God. I received a syllabus I could use to begin studying Judaism and eventually to convert if that was what I wanted. Since June of 2023, I have been driving into that parking lot on Friday evenings for Shabbat services. I know the security guard by name. I helped to cook the first Friday dinner, and I just celebrated my second Passover. Some part of me that had still been seeking has now been fulfilled. I still marvel that I'm studying with the rabbi, working towards conversion, that I will one day be a Jew. All that began with a profound act of UU ministry, with Reverend Sally encouraging me to follow my spiritual yearning and showing me how. I will forever be grateful.
All right, let's see how far I can get into this without crying. A few years ago, my life fell apart pretty dramatically, and I had to leave my adopted home here in Urbana for Southern California, where I grew up. It was a chaotic, difficult few months, and when I returned to very little. I had nowhere to live, few possessions, and only a handful of friends I had made in my brief and miserable time as a grad student. I was unemployed, had no savings, and was suffering from both a debilitating nerve condition as well as some of the most severe mental health symptoms I've ever experienced. And anchoring all of this suffering was a deep spiritual malaise. The feeling that I was truly homeless, not only in that I was unhoused, but in that I felt there was nowhere in the world where I belonged. California had ceased to be home to me, and what reason did I have to stay in Illinois? It was here that I had become so broken, after all, but where else was there? It was in the grips of this malaise that I turned to faith for the first time in my life. What I needed was not merely help or advice, but guidance, purpose, place. The only place I could think to look for these things was a church. I searched the names of local ministers, but as a transgender person, I was terrified of what they'd have to say to me. Even in welcoming congregations, I had no assurances that any church would be willing to accept the strange, specific thing that I was without asking me to change. And then, searching aimlessly, I found a webpage. Reverend Sally Fritchie, she, they. I had never even heard of a minister with dyed hair and pronouns before, let alone one who professed to be an atheist. I immediately reached out, saying something vague, non-committal, and in retrospect, probably at least a little concerning. She agreed to meet with me later that week. We spoke at the tables on the lawn outside, and I wept and raved as my words gave form to the deep-seated misery that had engulfed my life. Sally listened to me, a complete stranger, describe some of the darkest chapters I'd ever experienced, all the while showing nothing but patience and unflinching compassion. And when I'd finished, she asked simply, "Do you ever pray?" I didn't, so we prayed together. And the phrase with which she began her prayer is the one that I, as an agnostic, still use every day. God of many names, God of no names. Thank you, Sally, for praying with me, and in doing so, for giving me a home.
Thank you all. Thank you for those who have so beautifully shared the impact Reverend Sally has had on you personally. And what I know is that there are countless more in this room, watching online, with us in spirit, who would echo so many of those themes that you have heard. Sally's ministry has been, is, and will continue to be a gift to us. And we are grateful for the time that we have had and that we continue to have for the rest of this day, because there will be cake. And so much of what has been central to Reverend Sally's ministry is that part of our mission about building community. And so it is the moment in our service where we talk about some of the ways that we build community collectively. We have so many opportunities in our faith development, our social action councils, congregational life, that we can connect with each other, that the ministry that Reverend Sally has embodied lives in each of us. And so to keep it brief, there are a few things I want to make sure that you know. One, this afternoon at 3 p.m., we will be honoring the life of Walt McMahon, who was a beloved member of this congregation for over 60 years. Walt and his family and all those who knew and loved him and who he touched are welcome to that memorial at 3 with a reception to follow in Fellowship Hall. Our final Vespers of this church year is going to be this coming Tuesday night at 7:30. That's a time change, so I just wanted to lift it up for folks. If you would like to come for some quiet reflection, 7:30 on Tuesday night, right here in the sanctuary with me. And then next Saturday in the morning, we'll have a spring cleanup of our yard and our playground from 9 to noon, and from 10 to 3, you'll get to meet with me and Sue and Margaret for our Pathways to Membership class. You can still register for that on Realm. That's where you register for that, everybody. Please read about these and other opportunities in our e-news and stay connected with us and the life of the congregation. And now, it's the time for generosity, the time to collect our offering. We do this every Sunday in recognition of our very real interdependence and reliance on each other. When we take an offering on Sunday mornings, we share half of the non-pledge offerings that we receive with the organization doing the work of justice in the world. Our April shared offering partner is Keep Our Clinics campaign of Abortion Care Network. You can give through Realm via the online portal on our website, and if you're here in the sanctuary, you can give cash. You can write a check just in the memo line if you'd like that to be shared and not to go to your pledge. Be sure that you write shared offering. We invite you to give whatever is generous for you, and we are grateful for all the ways you share in this community. Our offering will now be gratefully received.
Thank you all. What a few years we've had together. What a joy it is to have something worth weeping over. When I first arrived here in 2020, I'm not sure I could have predicted any part of what the following 5 years would look like. We have been through so much together. New lead ministers, new RE programs, new spiritual practices, lots of new faces. We had virtual church, outdoor church, backstage pass church. You remember that phase? We figured out how to gradually come back together in pandemic times. Every year that I've spent here has looked almost nothing like the year before. I have witnessed you as individuals and as a community go through some of the most unimaginably tough times. I've seen you grieve and fight and show up for one another. I've seen you grow and heal, lose hope, and find it again. I am leaving this ministry profoundly changed by it. And I don't just mean that I arrived a soft-spoken new minister worried about being taken seriously as a professional, and I'm leaving as a purple hair, tattooed preacher, not worried about much of anything. You do get credit for the purple hair. Thank you to everyone who voted on that last spring. But I have been supported and challenged and nurtured and loved into being here. I have been far from perfect. I will be leaving here with more than 400 unread emails in my inbox. So if one of them is from you, I will not be replying, and I apologize. But I never once felt like I didn't have support here, like I wasn't loved. And I hope that even when you disagreed with my choices, even when I completely failed to respond to a very important message, you knew that I loved and supported you back. Every gift I take with me from this place, a hand-woven stole, a sacred rattle, a painting, a poem, stacks and stacks and stacks of notes and cards are just physical representations of something much deeper. A change that has been wrought in me, a moment that I will carry onward in my ministry and in my life for decades to come. I am permanently changed by the memory of holding a memorial service here during a power outage with all our electric tea lights out, illuminating the space. The memory of sitting in the ER, holding one of your hands, waiting for test results. The memory of the 3-year-old who didn't know the word reverend, so just called me regular Sally. And would shout my name from the pew when she saw me up here. The memory of putting out a call to help someone leave an unsafe living situation and having more than a dozen church members show up with boxes and trucks and a spare guest room to offer. The memory of running into one of our teens while I was chaperoning queer prom in town, and I was giving them space to play it cool, but instead they came right up to me and introduced me to their friends as their minister. It's not just that I'm leaving here with different hair. I am a different person because of you. And I've seen you change too. You are not the same community that I found here in 2020. There are dozens of new members, yes, but there's also new energy, confidence, and forward motion. You all pulled the religious exploration program out of the pandemic and built it into something that is crowded with the voices of a new generation, and you will hear their voices. You built a ramp, something that had been talked about for decades. And you created it. It is now real as anything, a manifestation of the deeper ongoing work that you're doing, grappling with ableism and accessibility. I see your commitment to justice deepening and expanding in scope, reaching outward beyond our walls, in immigrant justice, reproductive health care, queer liberation, and more. I got to witness firsthand the grassroots efforts of our 4th and 5th graders marching into Fellowship Hall with their Let Kids Vote signs. And now, the kids here can vote on where our shared offering money goes. And I know that you're not done. This next chapter, Reverend Beth's ministry with you, is going to be a powerful one. I see you changing even now. And it's such a gift to me to get to hear things like the reflections from today, because so few people get the chance to hear directly how their life has impacted the lives of those around them. But I'm not special, I'm just lucky. It's not unique to have had an impact on those that you know. Please know that there are people, quite possibly people in this room, who would tell stories of when something you said or something you did was exactly what they needed most. You might not be able to see it clearly, but let me say, I see it. I have a view of this congregation that I wish I could shine back at you and let you see for yourselves. You are bending the arc in 100 meaningful ways. You should be proud of yourselves. I'll also say I didn't have this written in, but bending the arc of justice, originally from Unitarian forefather Theodore Parker. Thank you, Sam. You should be proud of yourselves. I hope that you are proud of yourselves, because the wider world, I know, is changing too, and not for the better in many ways. That's something I wish didn't have to be part of this goodbye. The fact that 5 years ago we feared but couldn't have fully predicted how precarious our democracy was, how unprotected our basic human rights. I wish that those changes were not part of this story. Wish I was not leaving you at a time that feels so grim. and especially for our most marginalized and legally vulnerable kin. I know many of you are scared, and I am scared too. But I can tell you this, if you ever feel like the world is only changing for the worse, like decline and disillusion are inevitable, know that this is a lie. Know that it is possible to be changed for the better. It is possible for a person, for a community, for a faith to create a current that moves in the other direction. Become more open, more just, more awake to the world. And we know it is possible because we have seen it here. I know it is possible because I can feel it. It is happening here. Change can happen for the better, is happening. I feel in myself almost surprised by my own capacity for love. 5 years ago, you were just a bunch of strangers to me. And yet somehow you have expanded the space in my ribcage beyond what I thought possible. I love you. I love you. And that is a miracle. I didn't know you. If it's possible for people to go from indifferent strangers to having a permanent home in each other's hearts, then what else might be possible? Miraculous change happens. Change for the better happens. It is happening. You are making it happen. So this is what I want to leave you with. Never doubt that what you do here matters. Never doubt that you matter. Your life, your efforts, your joy cannot be denied or undone. So may the impact of the love that we build here be felt deeply beyond today, beyond these walls, beyond this moment in history. I hope that you never, ever doubt that what you are doing is important, is valuable, is changing the world. Amen. Now I'll invite the choir forward for our anthem. Yes. Let me take my Kleenex.
While the choir comes up, I'll read a little bit of something that I wrote, but before I do, thank you, Reverend Sally, for allowing me the honor to stay in this congregation as the choir director. Thank you for helping me through some of our hardest times in my first year. Here's a story. So we've talked about Sally a lot, but Maya, you're here too. On a brisk fall day in September, Maya took a motorcycle ride across town to meet me at Robeson Elementary School, where I teach music. She parked and walked across the lot to my classroom door, helmet in hand, earplugs still in. I only knew that because she shouted, "If you're saying something to me, I won't be able to hear it yet." We were meeting to discuss the possibility of writing a piece for the choir to sing for this very occasion. It just happened that my lower elementary students, grades K through 3, so Sawyer knows this song, and so does Charlotte, were learning about minor keys. And since it was fall, we were using the melody to a Christina Rossetti poem, "Who Has Seen the Wind?" I showed it to Maya, and she was instantly drawn to the charm of C minor. I mean, who doesn't love a good C minor song? She sat down at my classroom piano and began playing many different chord progressions, and then laid down on the floor as we laid out the foundation for this piece. On September 7th, this was September 7th at Robeson, and a month later I wrote these lyrics. I am floating on the wind. I've seen all that came before, and I know I'll miss you, but I've loved growing here and knowing that the wind will carry us home. I have seen the wind. Of course, this new set of lyrics needed to be in a major key to send Sally and Maya off happily. because, as my young musicians told me, minor keys just sound sad and sleepy. Sally, although we tried to add the whoosh sound that you loved so much, you're gonna have to use your imagination when we say the word who to get that sound that you requested in this piece. But know that this was written by two of your biggest fans, and the amount of love and warmth that we put into it would not be recognized without the life that the choir breathes into it. In addition to this song, we have a physical gift for you, Sally, and for you too, Maya. The choir took time on Wednesday. Dan, would you do me a favor and come grab this? To sign a custom mat that contains the first and last pages of this song. For Maya, Katrina, would you take this? The choir shared their thoughts about their favorite moments written throughout the score. Also, I asked Alyssa if they could create a design for a pin that I wanted to give to the choir, and we have one of those for you both, right? And because I'm really bad at keeping surprises, surprise, I gave it to them. I gave it to you before the church service started. What? I had no idea. Maya, thank you for this beautiful gift that you left us. It has been like you've been with us each day since you left. And Sally, I hope you enjoy another premiere, Wonders Unseen.
Neither you nor
Hi, thank you, all of you. That was beyond beautiful. Reverend Sally, will you come over here? You come on this side. This morning, we have heard testimonies from members of this congregation telling us how you were called here, about the work you have done, bearing witness to the ways that you have touched their lives. And we know that those gifts of your ministry have rippled out into this congregation, in this community, in ways seen and unseen. And it is with gratitude and bittersweet gladness that we come to the end of this service and the end of your ministry with us. Congregation, I would ask you to rise and body your spirit, and I'll ask Amita to come forward. Amita's going to light 2 candles here for us. One of these candles represents the gifts we have received from Reverend Sally in her ministry, and we know that those gifts will shine on for us for years to come. And the other candle represents the gifts I hope that we have given to Reverend Sally, and that will shine in her life in all the places that she goes on from here. And so I ask you, congregation, to hold out your hands. I'm going to name just some of the gifts Reverend Sally has gifted to us. And as I name them, I will ask you to receive it in your hands and pull it to your heart. Receive it in your hands and pull it to your heart. Reverend Sally, we thank you for the gifts of your ministry, for your thought-provoking and heart-stirring sermons, for your skillful facilitation of small groups, for your compassionate, deeply caring pastoral presence, for your committed work to justice and community, for widening our circle of care with radical welcome, for your humor and your grace and your joy. We will carry these gifts with us long into the future. Hold those, congregation. And now we will offer a blessing, a shared blessing that is adapted from the Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. The words are in your order of service. They will also be on the screen. It's a call and response, so I will say a line and you will say what is listed for all. Reverend Sally, as you lift up your eyes to this new turning of your road, may you remember us with love as we will remember you. As you enter the new life before you, may your spirit be free to follow your calling as it was when that call drew you here. As you dream new dreams and take on new responsibilities, may memories of the beauty you created here with us nurture your soul and steady your purpose. As you step beyond the circle of this community, our love and respect go with you. May the doors of your heart always be open. May you meet the divine in all things. Hold your heart and let it go. And then we say together, we release you now from our covenant with one another. Go in peace and love. And now we will sing, but as joyfully as we can, our blessing song, May the Longtime Son. Will you sing it with us? We will sing it through 3 times.
stay standing because we're about to extinguish our chalice. I put a space in here for me to say a benediction, but I didn't write anything because I knew I wouldn't be able to hold it together for too long. I'll just say thank you. I'm so grateful to every one of you. And also, you're going to be so amazing. I'm so excited to watch from afar what this congregation does in its next chapter. I think you're so incredible, and I just have so much faith in you, and I know that it's going to be great. So thank you. I'll see you in Fellowship Hall for cake, and I'll be giving out hugs. Thank you, and we'll extinguish our chalice with our familiar words. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace.